everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. I really hope you find this video helpful. So today's video is going to be a 2021 savings video. So if you are a regular here or you know about my financial content, then I've done previous savings videos before of how to save and just motivational videos really to give you tips on how to save fast. And that is what this video is going to be. So it's going to be a kind of refreshed version of what I've done previously. I'll link my other videos down below as well if you want to check them out. So this video is going to help you save really fast in 2021. It works for absolutely anyone, no matter how much income you have. If you have a high salary or a lower salary, this will work for you. It's guaranteed to help you save. So I really hope you find this video helpful. I feel like if you are someone that's thinking about saving or you have a goal in mind, then January is an absolutely amazing time to start saving because you have a whole 12 months to achieve your goal and get to the end of the year and reflect back on what you've achieved. Just want to add a little disclaimer, guys, that this video is obviously a motivational video to help you out. These tips aren't necessarily things that are groundbreaking, but it has the aim of just being all in one place for you to watch and just to help you stay focused and to give you some little ideas that you may not have thought of before. A tip I have before we start is to get yourself a notepad and a pen, or to get the notes on your phone out now. I think it is so important to write down things when you want to achieve them, just so that you've got goals and you've got things that you can refer back to. I also find that writing things out, especially pen and paper, just really helps it to set in because you're physically writing it out. It goes into your mind a little bit more, and I feel like you're more likely to stick to something and to focus on something when you've written it out, whereas just watching a video, it's so easy to forget about. Whereas writing it out and having it there in front of you to look at every day or every week is just going to be really helpful. So if you want to, that is, get yourself a pen and paper, and then every time I give you a tip, make sure that you pause the video, write that down so that you have your goal, and then also write down how you're going to make that apply to you and what you're going to do to achieve that goal based on you. That makes sense. Okay, so the starting point is going to be to evaluate your income and to find out exactly what is going on and where your money is being spent, because this is going to help you to determine what you're spending your money on and what you need to spend and what you don't need to spend. So my best tip for this is to go through your bank statements. So as a minimum, I would say look at 3 months of bank statements, but ideally 6 months would be really good, although it may take a little while, but it's so worth doing. So you're going to want to go through all of your bank statements, look at every single transaction and work out on average what you spend each month. There might be certain things that are standard payments every single month, and then there might be things that you pay out for every few months, and then you need to take an average of that. So you just want to work out what you're spending on average every single month. And then once you've got this figure, this is our really basic starting point, but you're going to want to compare this to your income. So let's give examples here. So let's say you have income of 1,500 net a month, so after tax and national insurance, that's what you receive into your bank account from your employer, and you can see that you're spending 1,200 a month. So then you've identified straight away you've got £300 a month spare that doesn't actually need to be spent. And a lot of the time people will say they don't know where their money goes, and it's because that spare money you have is just being spent amongst everything else. So the £300 is obviously surplus money that you're not spending each month, and what you can do straight away is just set up a direct debit to a savings account straight away, so that money is out of sight, out of mind, and automatically saved every single month. In terms of the best account to put this money into, along with any other savings, you want to pick an account which is the most tax efficient account possible. So ISAs, individual savings accounts, are a tax efficient environment, they're tax free, and any interest you receive will be tax free on them. So that's an option. You can also look into the lifetime ISA. I've done a video all about that I'll leave down below. But effectively, a lifetime ISA is perfect for someone that is looking to save for a property, as the government will give you a 25% uplift. So every time you save money up to £4,000 a year, you'll get a government bonus alongside it. If you're definitely going to be using the money for a house, then it's a perfect way to save. But I always think it's great to put your savings into an account that is out of sight, out of mind, that isn't an account you can just easily access with your main bank card. It's always great to have it set aside in a separate account, even a separate bank, so that it's on a completely separate online banking, so you can't just easily transfer money over. You'll have to really think about it before you ever transfer money over, which hopefully is enough to stop you. Whereas if it's all on the same app, it's so easy to log on and just quickly move money from your ISA to your current account. So at this point, you're going to know what you spend each month, and we now need to categorize exactly what that money is going on. So is it essential things or is it non-essentials? So essential things will be things like your fuel, gas bills, electric bills, your rent, anything like that, your car car finance, if you've got that, your insurance, any insurance policies at all, any medication you have, anything like that will be essential expenditure. And then non-essentials are things like takeaways or meals out or anything you buy for yourself, clothes, anything like that. They'll be non-essential because they're things you don't need necessarily each month to survive on. So this is the great starting point to divide these into two categories, what you deem as non-essentials and essentials. And you can either write this all out or you can use Excel and put a little spreadsheet together. That might be really good because you can easily amend it if you need to, but I know Excel isn't the easiest thing to use, so if not, just simply write it out on a piece of paper or again just put it in the notes on your phone. And now it is so important to go through every single one of these things that you've written out and analyse it in full detail. Just because an expenditure is essential, it doesn't mean that has to stay as it currently is, because there's always a way to reduce what you're spending. So even your essential expenditure, you can pretty much save money on most of these things to reduce that essential expenditure down each month, which then frees up more money that can go straight into your savings account. So for example, the things that you are buying each month, it could be food, it could be anything you need to buy physically that you still deem essentials. Look into what you're actually buying. Are you getting the best value for money? So are you shopping at Tesco's or are you shopping at Aldi? Are you buying things that are a premium brand when you could get a home brand? So for example, you might be buying a really expensive cleaning product, but there might actually be a Asda's home brand that is a lot cheaper. All of these little things sound really insignificant, which is why often they're just overlooked and not considered, but actually doing this every single week for a whole year is going to really add up and will really help you to save them pennies. The pennies turn into pounds, the pounds turn into £10, and then £10 turn into hundreds, you know what I mean? It will soon add up. Initially, it won't seem like a big deal, but eventually you'll really notice the impact of reducing what you are buying. So anything you buy that is essentials, look at what you're spending that money on and see if there's a way of getting it for less elsewhere. In terms of fuel, that's another essential expenditure. So is it a case that you could bike to work, or you could walk, or get another form of transportation which is a little bit cheaper, for example? Maybe you could car share with someone at work so that if you find someone that lives near you, you can take it in turns to reduce the cost each month. If you've got a car on finance, is that the best deal for you? Maybe look into when you're able to trade the car in and get something a little bit more affordable. That is what I've done in the past. I've had more expensive cars, and then when I really wanted to knuckle down and save, I got a cheaper car because then obviously I could save a lot more money each month. So it's things like that. It's looking at things you have that you need, like your car, but thinking, is there a way that I can do this for less? Can I get a car with a smaller litre so that my insurance each year is less? Can I get a car that's cheaper so that my finance each month is less? Obviously, these things are harder to change because when you're tied into a finance agreement, it can take a while, but even analysing it, make a note of it so you know in a year's time you can review that, for example, or 2 years' time or 6 months, however long it is, then you've got to do action as soon as possible. In terms of food, this is such a big way of spending money. So if you're getting takeaways, that is an absolute no. If you're trying to save, look at where you're spending your money on your food. Are you going to an expensive shop like Marks and Spencer's? Could you go somewhere cheaper? And going back to what I said, are you buying expensive brands? Could you get something a little bit cheaper? I know obviously food is important to get right, but there's always ways of saving a little bit of money when it comes to your food each month. Are you cooking in bulk? Because this actually saves money on electricity, also saves time as well, which you could be using for something else. You could bulk cook all your work lunches, which I often do, and that really helps to save time and also money. It stops you wasting food as well, because your leftover dinner could be your lunch for the following day. It's all little things, it's all little lifestyle changes, which not only help the environment as well and the planet, but they also help your bank balance too. So insurance policies, so are you looking at these every single year to review them? Because often we get our car insurance renewal through, or our home insurance, our contents insurance, any kind of insurance policies we have, and often we just think, I'll just stay with that provider to make things easier. But it's so important to review these each year and to change them to the most competitive offer out there. So use websites out there like Go Compare, shop around, and when you find a better quote, phone up your current provider who are offering you whatever quote they're offering you and tell them what you're getting elsewhere, and they'll often match it or do better to keep you as a customer. So don't be afraid to pick up the phone to these companies and to say to them, I'm not going to stay with you because this provider has a better deal. Often they will look to match it or do better for you. So it's really important to take a little bit of time out each year to make a note of when all your insurance policies are due for renewal, so that you can have a little calendar to hand with all of the dates that you need to phone up and start researching, and to just look online, find the best deal, and to make those cost savings, because insurance insurance policies often go up each year when you stay with the same provider. So it's really important to review this because this will save you hundreds every single year. The same goes for any utility bills, so your gas, your electricity, anything like that, your internet bill, your phone bills, anything like that. Are you, again, looking at these annually? Are you making sure that you're on a competitive rate? Because often companies will have an introductory rate which lasts for a set period of time. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, and then you'll automatically be switched onto the variable rate or whatever their rate is that they have, and it often increases so much. So it is so important that you look into your electricity, your gas, your internet, etc., and to make sure you have the best going rate. Again, phone these companies up. Don't be afraid to phone a few different companies up if you want to speak to them, or go onto websites such as Uswitch. Uswitch enables you to check out all different policies out there to find the cheapest one for you. Make sure you do this every single year or whenever it is due for renewal, because again, this is a great way of saving hundreds every single year. And all the money that you save from all these things, put that straight into your savings account, because it's money you would have spent. So you may as well have it out of sight, out of mind, straight into the savings account, because it's a saving you made, which can then go towards whatever you're saving for. So this is a bit of a random one, but if you're someone that has medication and you need it every single month, medication itself is over £7 per prescription. So you can actually get unlimited prescription cards. I have one because I have asthma and eczema and all of that, and I have lots of different things I need every single month. And it's around £11, I think, a month, £11 or £12 a month. Just search for it online. Again, it's a great way of saving yourself money because you're needing that medication every single month, and it's a way of cutting the cost. Now we're going to be moving on to non-essentials. So it's still important, of course, to treat yourself sometimes and to do things that make you feel good about yourself. So you might be spending £40 a month on your nails every single month. You might be spending £40 on eyelashes and your hair, etc. And it's about prioritising, for one, what is most important to you, because of course, if you want to save as quickly as possible, you're going to cut all of these out, but it's not always realistic to cut everything out. So prioritise and maybe keep one thing a month that you enjoy getting done and stick with that. But other things, see what you can do at home. So, you know, if you're getting your nails done each month, maybe do gels at home, invest into a little kit, and it will save you so much money in the long run. Maybe start dyeing your hair at home if it's something easy, little things like that. Obviously, these are really basic things, guys. It's all things to consider, looking at what you spend each month that you feel like you need to spend, and finding out if there's a cheaper way of going around it to keep the same sort of results but for less. Okay, so moving on to any shopping, or especially online shopping that is, but just shopping in general. So something that I've done in the past which works really well is have a 30-day rule. So basically, if you find something that you really want to buy, you really love it, wait 30 days to see at the end of the 30 days if you still want it as much as you did at the beginning. If you did, then look to buy it within reason. That is obviously not if it's going to massively impact your savings, but if you want to treat yourself for whatever the item is, then, you know, wait the 30 days. But often you'll get to the end of the 30 days and realise it isn't worth it. It isn't worth being another month away from your savings goal to buy this item, and it just kind of gets your mind in check a little bit and makes you think about things and stops you being so impulsive and stops you buying things all the time. So if you are going to be spending money, obviously it's best to get as much money back as you possibly can. So I've previously worked with a company called Cashback. They're an amazing company, and you can effectively shop via their website and get cash back when you are spending money. So it makes sense to do something like this, because if you're going to spend the money anyway, you may as well get cash back, and then that cash back you can use on either future shops or you can put it straight into your savings account. And the same goes for an app called Shop Tagger. Again, I've worked with them in the past, and effectively you can save items on there and it will notify you when they go into the sale, and also tells you any discount codes, because if you are spending money, it's so important to at least make sure you're getting that item for the cheapest you possibly can. You're utilising all the discount codes, all the cashback you can, and making sure it goes into sale, because then at least you don't feel quite as guilty, and all the money you saved by doing this, put that all into your savings account, because you were prepared to pay the full price of the item. So any extra money you've saved, put that straight into your savings account. Again, all of these things are so small at outset, but over time it really does build up. Believe me, over the space of a year, you'll be so surprised at how much money you save by doing all these little small tweakments to your lifestyle. Another thing you can do is have times where you have a no-buy week or month or day or year, but realistically, it's great to set yourself a challenge for, say, 2 weeks or 4 weeks to have a no-buy period. So effectively what a no-buy period is exactly what it says in the title. You don't spend any money. Obviously you keep spending the essential things like your food, your fuel, things you have to spend, but anything other than that, you do not buy anything at all that you don't need to. You completely have a no spend, and you could challenge a friend to do it alongside you. If you have a friend that also is looking to save, you can challenge each other, and then you can really help to encourage each other and to help each other stay motivated and dedicated and to stay on track with it as well. And having no by months or weeks really helps to go for a period of time, completely not spending anything at all you don't need to. And of course, all that extra money can go straight into your savings account again. And then other little things you can do is things like, you know, if you're going to go out for dinner with a friend, stay at home and cook together. This will save you so much money. A meal out, guys, is often what, 20, 30 pounds at least. You can do this at home for as little as kind of £2, £3, £4 each and still have such a lovely time. I've said this one before, but the same goes for if you're going out partying or you're having a night out with the girls. You could start at someone's house and have a couple of drinks at their house just to stop spending all of that money when you go out, because nights out can be so pricey. So it's about not stopping your lifestyle and not living, if that makes sense, but it's just about changing what you do to maximise your savings as much as you can. So still enjoying yourself, still doing the things you love, but without breaking the bank in doing so. So you might want to have a little date night with your boyfriend, but instead of going to the cinema, spending loads of money on the film, the entrance, and then all the food there as well, maybe you want to buy a film on Amazon Prime or something like that, which is just a couple of pounds. You can buy some popcorn from the shops and just have a really cute little date night, but at home. It's all little things like that that really do add up, because entertainment is such a big cause of expenditure and where our money goes. So if you can try and curb them things for a period of time, but still enjoy yourself, but doing it on a budget, then it's just going to really add up. I know it did for me, because I used to go out for dinner all of the time, and when I stopped that and started staying in more and seeing friends but at home and cooking for each other, we saved so much money, crazy amounts of money. So it's really worth looking into this as well. Obviously, everything I've said for now is just based on ways that you can reduce your outgoings, but obviously another way of saving more money is to increase your income too. So you could look at getting a part-time job alongside your current full-time job. You get an evening job, a weekend job. You could just get something that's a couple of days a week. Maybe you might want to do some sort of driving delivery service, something like that. Or you can look at your hobbies and your passions and see if there's a way of turning that into another source of income. You might want to set up a store on Etsy. There might be something you want to sell on eBay. There might be a service you can provide. Perhaps you're a really good writer. Perhaps you're good at interior design or logo designs, anything like that. Really look at your skill set and see if there's a way of doing something you love that you can turn into a side hustle that will then increase your income further so that you can save quicker, because this is such a key when it comes to saving too. I started my YouTube channel and it made my savings journey so much quicker than anything else, because obviously it gives you another source of income that you can just put straight into your savings account, because it's money you wouldn't have had without doing it, which means you don't almost miss it, if that makes sense. Another way of increasing income in the month without actually working would be things like selling things on eBay. So you could just go through your house, have a little bit of a declutter and sell some things. You can easily make £1,000 or so by doing this, especially if you're decluttering clothes and items and things like that. Maybe put things on Facebook sales. Just declutter, because it makes you feel good as well. You feel all fresh and decluttered, but also it really helps you to save those pennies too. So guys, this is the end of the video. I really hope you found it helpful. Like I said at the beginning, it wasn't anything groundbreaking, but these are all things you can do to guarantee yourself savings this year, to guarantee yourself a way of getting a lot closer to your goals quicker. Anyone can do these things. Anyone, no matter how much money you have or don't have, you can do these things, because there's always ways of cutting costs. And I'm aware that I move my arms a lot. I really hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give the video a big thumbs up. If you're new here, hit subscribe. I would love you to stay around for future videos, and there'll be lots more videos like this coming on my channel this year. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.